Yeah, good morning. Are you able to view the screen? Yeah, yesterday we had discussed on proxy pattern, right? Is my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am, but not clear.
Some outside, due to some outside disturbance happening. So yesterday we had discussed on proxy pattern, right? So the proxy pattern is one among the access control pattern where we are trying to identify how to control
Ma'am,
the access.
screen,
What?
screen,
What Ashok? I am not audible.
screen visible ಅಲ್ಲ ma'am.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆ.
Blank screen.
ಹಾ ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ಇವಾಗ ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Okay ma'am.
Now?
Okay ma'am. Now okay.
Okay. So we had discussed on proxy pattern, right? So what about the proxy pattern? We use a proxy pattern to control the access services. So whatever the accessing is there. So when a client is trying to request some services, that services will be identified by the proxy server and it will look for the original. So where the actual services are implemented, it will bring back that service to the client. So for that, what we had used an abstract and original, proxy, and the client. So these are the four parts that we had used for a proxy server, right? And based on a service requested, all the services will be implemented, and we have seen what are the different types of proxy servers are there. So the next pattern that we are going to come across is command pattern. So in a command pattern, what happens? We need to manage the services. So how do we manage the services? What do you mean by management? What do you mean by management? We have a list of objects, right? We have n number, we have a collection of objects, we have a collection of services, and all the events has to be executed in a particular time or with a scheduled time. So what we need to do, we need to manage all these events or services. So how do we do that? By using a management pattern. So in a management pattern, what we are trying to do is we are taking a component as a manager. Through that manager, we are handling whatever the events are there. Those events will be executed based on the instructions of the manager. So when a manager issues a command or when a manager issues the instruction, that particular set of object is going to be active on a stipulated time, and it has to provide its service or it will execute its events, and it will come back to its original state. So these things are handled as a homogeneous collection of objects, so which will be managed by one particular component, and that particular component we are calling it as a manager. So under the management pattern, we have two different types of patterns. So one is a command processor pattern and one is a view handler pattern. So what is a command processor? I had discussed in a lab program, second lab program. What is a command pattern? Maithili? What's the command pattern? So the command pattern, what it will do, it will separate the request from the service of its execution. So the service is different, the execution of the service is different. So it will identify what type of service request that has been arised by the client. So dependent on a user request, that particular object is going to execute the service. So that is what happens with the command pattern. Later, once all the service has been executed, all the events has been executed, then what happens? It is going to undo all the changes. So it will come back to its original position. So that happens with respect to the command processor. Next, one more type of management pattern that we have. So that pattern we are calling it as a view handler. So in a view handler, what we are trying to identify, we are trying to identify all the components. All the components will allow the clients to open the component. So what happens? It is going to identify the views, and it is going to coordinate with whatever the dependency of other components are there. It is going to identify those dependency components, and it is going to organize the updates. So whatever the updates are there, it is going to update with the corresponding component. So that these are the two different patterns that are available under a category of management pattern. So in your syllabus you have only the command processor, so I'm not going to explain the view handler. So next we shall begin with the command processor pattern. So how do we define this command processor? So it is a command processor is one of the category of a design pattern which handles the request from its execution. So whatever the services are there, so it is going to accept all the service, and the execution is a different part from the command. So here what happens, it has to manage whatever the request that has been arised by the different set of objects. So it has to organize the request, and it has to schedule all the requests for a execution with which provides additional services like storing the request objects, and later once all the whatever the request that has been arised, so it will store in like a registry or in a cache. So whatever the services are there, it will execute one after the other. So that is what happens with the command processor pattern. So here what example that we can consider? We can consider an example of a text editor. So what work we can do with the text editor? What we can do with the text editor? Manisha? Manisha? Rajeshwari? Rajeshwari?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what you can do with the text editor? Say you have a Word document. What you can do with your Word document? So Word document is a text editor. You can use a different textual formatting this. What you can do with the Word document? consider a text editor, so we need to identify what are the different mistakes that can be done by the user, right? So it can be a different spell check that we can do. We can identify the synonyms, right? So we can make a text as a bold, italic. We can make increase or decrease the font size. We can use a superscript, subscript. So different formatting concepts can be applied. So whatever the formatting instructions or whatever the modifications that we are trying to do with respect to the text editor, which has already been edited or which is already been created, whatever the text. So those changes can be brought with the recent changes to make that particular record or particular editor has a more attractive. So we can do a multiple changes. We can use a different coloring of a texture to create it as a very good formatting editor, very good editor. So we shall call this text editor as a Teddy. So here what happens, a particular user want to develop when a particular user want to develop a editor, so what he will keep in a mind, he need to identify what are the different mechanism that can be taken care to include some of the new features and what type of operations has to be executed. So dependent on that, the designer will design the steady, okay, to execute all the given instructions. So to do that, to create a Teddy, so we need to have a user interface for a Teddy. So how to make it as a more interactive? Say for example, it can be a keyboard instructions or it can be a mouse instruction. So if you place a mouse on a particular text, it has to display like a pop-up menu. So what actually that icon is. So like that, several features has to be included. So that can be defined by using a callback procedures, and which will be called automatically for every human computer interaction. So whenever a user is trying to make a interaction, so that interaction will be taken care by the user with respect to a particular application. Are you able to see the screen PDF?
No, ma'am.
Just a second. I want to share a PDF. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
PDF.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have a context. Okay. So how do we define a context for a command processor pattern? So whatever the text editor or whatever the application that we are going to consider, it should be more flexible. It should be extensible user interface. So whenever a user is providing some commands or issue a service, so that service or a functionality has to be executed. So the how do we define a problem? So the problem is defined with a different set of features. All this set of features are to be well structured, and we need to create an interface. So why do we want to have an interface? Because it should be an interactive application. So whatever the services that has to be requested, that can be done through the user interfaces. So how can we design a user interface? So it can be like a keyboard shortcut. Say for example, we have taken a text editor Teddy, right? So in that Teddy we are copying all the instructions, right? So we have a particular file, so we need to have some set of instruction, and we need to copy those instructions to the text editor or to the Word document. So what we can do, instead of using a mouse, so what we can do, we can use a keyboard shortcuts. So say for example, it can be like to select all the text, you can use a shortcut like Control A. So when we are trying to use a Control A, what happens? So it will when we have selected that command, so it will select all the instructions. So whatever the textual information or whatever the information is, all the information will be selected. Then what you can do, you to copy the entire text, entire information, you are using a Control C, which is one more keyboard shortcut, and you're using, we can use a Control V to paste that in a document. That means what? So we need to use a keyboard shortcuts. So whatever the keyboard shortcuts that we are trying to use, so that will be interpreted by the system and it will execute. So those are nothing but the commands that are executed on behalf of the user. So whenever we want to redo the changes, we can use a we can undo all those changes. So how can you do how can you undo that changes? By using the Control Z, right? So which will, whatever the original positions of the document is, it will move back to the previous state. So how can we what are the different forces that has to be taken care when we want to identify the solution for whatever the set of forces that we need to consider? So the first thing is, we can have a different set of users who will like to work with the application in a different ways. Say I said the Word document. Say in a Word document, I can use a different templates, right? So some may be interested to use a word art, right? Some user may want to use a flow chart. So for that they can use a insert the shape and they can design a flow chart. Or say for example, the user want to design a greeting card, right? So he can use available pictures and he can make it as a more interactive. That means one particular application can be utilized by a different set of user in a different ways. So in that is one of the particular force that we need to define. And the second is, we need to enhance the application and it should not break the existing code. So that means without affecting the features, so it should enhance the application. So whatever the modification that you want to try to apply for the existing code, it should not affect the existing functionality. So without affecting that, we need to enhance the application. So if you want to add the additional services, so it should add the additional service, and if it is not required, it should be able to be removed at any point. So in such, so these are the three different forces that we need to define with respect to the problem. So how can we get the solution? So the solution can be brought for the above set of forces through the command processor pattern. So now how this command processor pattern can be helpful to include all the above forces. So the first thing is, this pattern will follow the idea of encapsulating all the requests into the object. So each and every request of different clients will be taken as an object. So all the requests will be binded inside the object. So what happens when the user is going to call that particular specific function at that particular point of time. So this object will be turned on and it will be considered as a command, and that object will be executed in that particular manner. It is going to execute all the requested services. So how do we define a structure of this command pattern? So we need to abstract the command component which defines all the different interfaces with respect to an object. So we had taken an example of a teddy, right? So for this teddy, what we need to do, we need to add a different set of interactions or different methods, executable commands has to be provided. So how can we do that? We have a two different class. One is an abstract command and one class we are calling it as a command. So what is the use of this abstract class or abstract command? So it defines a uniform interface to execute a command. So we have to execute a particular command, we need to have an application or we need to have a particular interface. So that will be defined in an abstract command class. So next is extends the interface for the service of the command. So whatever the command processor or whatever the instructions set of instructions are there, so that will be embedded in a interface. And next we have a command class. So in a command class, what we are having, for the command class we have a collaborator as a supplier. So what is the responsibility of this command pattern? It is going to encapsulate whatever the requests are there. All the requests will be encapsulated with this command pattern. So here what happens, it is trying to use with the abstract interface, it is going to supply whatever the requests are there. All the user requests will be taken care with respect to the user. So next we have a class called as a controller. So what this controller will do, the controller has a collaborators as a command processor and the command. So with the connectivity of these two components, what the controller will do, the controller will accept all the service requests. So whatever the user is providing the request, it is going to consider all the user requests, and that request has to be translated into the command, right? So it will not whatever, say for example, if I'm taking it as a if I'm using a control C as a service, so that first it will instead of taking that as a command, so first it will take it as a request. So what happens when I have entered the request, so what happens during that intermediate time, so whatever the requests are there, the system is going to convert that request into the commands. So after transferring the request into the commands, what happens, it will transfer all the requests to the command processor. So now what the command processor has to do, so we have a command processor class, so we have, which is related to the abstract command. So what happens, the responsibility of the command processor class is it has to activate the command for a execution. I said I have given a request for a control C. Now what happens, the command processor will get this control C, it will activate the command for a execution. It will maintain all the set of objects, and whatever the request is, so what happens, it will activate and it will execute this control C. So what happens, when this request is activated, so it will copies all the information to the particular object. So what happens when you are trying to copy this entire information to the another object, so what happens, when you are trying to paste it, you are issuing the command, issuing the request as a control V. So now control V will be taken as an information, or it will be taken as a request which is being encapsulated, and this controller will catches the control V, and it will transfer this control V request to the command processor. Now the command processor will activate, it will look what type of service it is there. Now what happens? It will copy all the instructions to the other document. So that is how the command is going to work. So next what we have one more component. So that component we are calling it as a supplier. So what the supplier will do, it provides the application specific functionality. So it is nothing but whatever the copy instruction, paste instruction, or whatever the editing instruction, or whatever other instructions that the user is providing, all these instructions will be provided by the supplier. So in a LAMP example, what we have taken an example of a switch on and switch off of the light. So where we had used when a user is providing the command as a on, so what happens? It will go to the flip up class. So it will invoke the turn on method, and when the turn on method is invoked, so what happens, light will get on. So similarly, when we have taken a textual information, so it is going to invoke that particular set of instruction. So next we have a OMT diagram. So in this OMT diagram, what we have a command processor has a class, abstract command, controller, command, and the supplier. These are the different classes. Okay, now in a command processor class, so abstract command is an interface. So you can see here a black dark circle. What does it indicate? Any idea? Anyone? Can you tell me what the black dark circle indicates? Ambrish? Harshit? What does the black circle indicates? So this black circle indicates an interface. So this is an interface class, that is abstract command is an interface class where we are defining a method do and undo. Next we are using the inheritance. So this abstract command will be implements the command class. So where this command class has a state for undo. So when we are indicating what are the different states of objects are there. Okay, so in a command processor we have a command stack, we have a do it, and we are passing the argument as a command. Whatever the command that has been issued, that will be taken as a parameter, and it will execute that particular command. So undo it indicates whatever the previous state is there, it has to move back to the previous state. So next, the whatever the command that has been issued, it will be transferred by the controller command. So here what happens, the controller will create an event loop and it will transfer all the commands to the command processor. And what about the supplier? The supplier will have the application function state and get state and restore the state. So depending on this, it will use a command. So in a command class, we have a do and undo method. So whenever a command is being issued, so it will the controller will transfer the command to the command processor, and it is going to execute that particular set of command. So next we have a dynamics. So in a dynamics, what you can see the dynamics here. So since we have taken a text editor, that is a Teddy, what we are using, we are defining the dynamics based on the steady example. So we have a controller. So the controller will get will raise the request. So whatever the request that has been arised, so that will be sent to the capitalized command class. So now what happens? So before that, what it will do? So this capitalized command will be created by the controller, and it will give the instruction as a do it. So what happens? Now we have a command processor object. So this command processor object will issues a command do. So what happens? This capitalized command will to execute that, it has to identify which part the command the data has to be capitalized. So what it has to get? It has to get the instructions from the supplier. So what the supplier, it will send a message to the supplier to get the selection. So after getting the selection from the supplier, so what happens? This capitalized command will make the text has a capitalization, and it will send back to the supplier. So the supplier will receive and it will reply back. So whatever the resultant is there, so after capitalizing, it will return back to the command processor. Later this command processor will in turn send back the request to the controller that the capitalization, whatever the command that has been issued, and the text has been capitalized. So next, after some duration or some period of time, if the controller is giving the request as a undo, so what happens? It will send the request to the command processor as undo. Later this command processor will issue the service as a command undo. Later this capitalized command will restore the text into the original format, original form. So once it is being stored in a original form, it will return back to the capitalized command. Then this capitalized command will send back the instruction. So later, so since no more instruction will be provided, so what happens? This object will be deleted. So that is how the dynamics will be taken care for a command processor. So next we have an implementation. So to implement this pattern, we need to identify the procedure. So those procedure will be defined in terms of steps. So the first thing is we need to define the interface of the abstract command. So how do we define the interface of the abstract command? So we have taken a class as an abstract command. So what happens? This abstract command, whatever the implementation ideas are there, so all this implementation ideas of a certain method will be hidden to execute certain part of a services, so which will be taken as a command processor. So what happens? It will take the method as a get name and a parameters after logging into the commands. So once the command takes a parameter, so there can be some mechanism that can be adopted with the Teddy application. So there are three different kinds of commands. So one is a no change, normal, and undo. So no change is a command that requires a no undo. Whatever you are making the movement of a cursor, if the cursor movement fails into all the cursor movement fails into this category, whatever the original is, so it will be maintained as a original. And next thing is undo. Normal. So in a normal, what we are using, we are a command that can be undone. So a substitution of a word in the text is an example of a normal command. So whatever the normal entry that you are trying to enter into the Word document, so that will be taken as a normal text. Next, no undo. So whatever the command that cannot be undone, you are keeping it in a normal mode itself. So that will be taken as a undo changes. So here is an implementation. So we have a class called as an abstract command. So we have taken a enumeration type and a command type. So whatever the three categories are there. So no change, normal, and no undo. So we are creating the virtual constructor of the abstract command and virtual function of do it and undo the changes. So what happens in a get type of a command, it is going to consider the type of a command. So whether it is a change or no change command, whether it is a normal command. So depending upon the argument that has been provided by the user, it is going to get the type of a command. So next is a get name. So whatever the name of the command is there, so it can be copy, no name. So like that, it will take all the names of the command. So next, what happens? It is going to consider the command type. So and we are going to declare a parameter. So for that parameter, whatever the command type is, that command type will be assigned to that variable, and we are calling it as a type. So whatever the type that the user is providing, that will be assigned to the command type. Next, we need to design the command components. So to design the command components, what we need to make? We need to make a type of a request. So whatever the requests are there, that request has to be binded with respect to the supplier components, and that has to be coded, and that request will be taken by the controller, which makes the translation has a service to the command. So to do that, what we are using the class called as a delete command, which implements the abstract command. So here we are using the delete command as a constructor, where we are passing the application and we are taking the pointer variable as a t. So what type of command that will be used? So whether it is a normal, undo, no do, changes, whatever it is. So we need to select the starting line, starting and start and end. That means from where to where the text has to be implemented. So those two will be taken as a parameter. Then we are creating the virtual destructor, and we are creating a do it command. So whatever the instructions that has been taken, so that will be executed in a do it command. So next, what we have a undo command. So in undo command, whatever the previous position is there, it will go back to the previous position. Okay. So next, what we are using the variables as a protected. So here what we are using a teddy text. So to select the particular text, and integer from 2, that is a range that we want to select to delete the character, or to make it as a bold, or whatever the instruction that we are need to consider. So here we are taking an example of deleting the particular text, and we are providing the range from where to where the text has to be deleted. So that is why we are using int, start and end. So next thing is, we need to increase the flexibility of providing the macro commands. So what is macro? What is a macro? Kavya?
Ma'am, it's Ashok, ma'am.
What?
A small piece of code, ma'am. Macro.
Yes, macro is a small piece of code which has to be repeated again and again, right? So when you want to perform a particular task multiple times, we are considering that in a macro function. So here we are creating a macro command, so which implements the abstract command. Say for example, you want to make some headings, all the headings as a bold. So it is a repeated procedure. So what you can do, you can take it as a that command under a macro. Okay, so for macro command, what we are passing a string, we are passing the name, and we are passing the first has a pointer variable. So what happens? So from the starting till the end, whatever the text that has been selected, it has to make it as a bold, or it has to do those changes. So that is the reason we are putting under a macro function. So what under this macro command class, we are using the do it, undo, and finish. That means whatever the command. So if you want to make it as a bold, and we want to make that as a repetitive procedure, so we are using all the list of command which has to be executed again and again. So then what we are using, if we don't if we want to make it in a reverse order, then we are invoking the undo function. So if we want to finish all the execution of the command, we are putting that in a list. So if any other commands that has to be added under a macro, we are adding that commands in a add method, and we are appending all those list of commands in a command type. So next is implement the controller component. So how do we implement the controller component? So we have a command objects which are created by the controller. So for this controller, what we need to do, we need to supply all the components, and through the help of a controller. So what happens? It is going to accept those command, those requests, and it will convert to the command, and it has to be executed. So for that particular purpose, we need to define a controller component. So to define a controller component, we are using a Teddy controller, since we have taken a Teddy as an example. So we are inheriting the delete button press. So whenever you are pressing the delete button, so what happens, that particular set of whichever the text, current text that you are selecting, the current text will be deleted. So how do we do that? By using the this function. So what happens to this pointer? So it will points to the current cursor position, and the current text will be extracted. So after extracting the current text, so what happens, it will perform the delete command. So when the delete button is pressed, so next thing is implement the access to the additional service of the command processor. So here what happens, so we are trying to list the set of commands. So whatever the set of commands are there, so that has to be come back to the previous state. So we are using the class called as a undo command, which implements the abstract command. So what happens? It will invoke the constructor, and whatever the command type that has been passed. So if no change, so whatever the previous state is there, it will go back to the previous state. So when do it method is executed, it will move back to the previous state. Next, we have a implement the command processor component. So how do we implement the command processor component? So we have a class called as a command processor. So we are trying to create the constructor. We are calling the virtual constructor here. So here whatever the command that has been issued, so that command will be executed. So to execute that particular type of command, here we are using the switch type. Why we are using a switch? Because we have taken the command type has a 3 different types of command. So whether it is a normal command, whether it is a do, no undo, no change. So these 3 cases we are using. So if the case is a abstract, if it is a normal, so here we are taking the type of a command has a normal, no change, right? So we need to give the input type, we need to type there what type of command here. So that's the reason we are using the method called as a get type. So through the command, we are invoking the get command object, we are invoking the get type. So when a user provides the type of a command as a normal command, so what happens, it will push the command and that particular normal command will be executed. Next, if the user provides no undo, so what happens, it will make the all the changes as a empty it will invoke the make empty. So what this make empty will do, so whatever the previous state is there, it has to go to the previous state. So similarly, no change command is there, so whatever the actual command is there, we are using the actual command. So for this, what we are using a friend class to undo the command and to redo the command. So redo command is repetitive, the same command has to be executed. So for that, we are defining a friend function, and we are including whatever the commands are there. Those service commands will be taken as a stack and it will be dumped in a stack. So there are different variants of the command pattern. So one is a spread controller functionality. So in the spread control functionality, we are identifying the role of the controller and how the controller is going to issue the different commands that we are identifying with respect to the spread controller functionality. Next, we have a combination with the interpreter pattern. So with respect to the interpreter pattern, what we are trying to identify, what are the different programmable interfaces with respect to the applications are there, and how the objects are being built to execute the commands. So where we can use this command pattern, so in a ET++, it's a framework where it implements a command pattern for tracking the state of a machine. So in a Mac application, so the Mac to execute a set of operation. So in a Mac application, the command pattern is used. And next, interviews. So where it includes the abstract base for providing the functionality of the component. And next is ATMP. So where and Scikit. So here we are trying to use the command processor. So these are the known uses of a command pattern. So the consequences, that is benefits and liabilities, I'm going to explain in our next class. Any doubts with respect to the command pattern? And one more thing, listen here. Whenever you are going to have in a theory part, you cannot explain the implementation of any pattern, either MVC pattern or a publisher subscriber or a command pattern proxy, whatever they are going to ask. If you are getting the question like that in a theory part, you cannot write the Java code there. So you need to explain the implementation steps. So whatever the steps that has been taken, right? That has been given, right? So that you need to write. You cannot write the Java code. Is it clear? So that is how you need to approach for the theoretical part.